Hi everyone, and welcome back to the studio. So this is a crochet with me crochet vlog, as you can tell from the title and the thumbnail, and I figured I'd use this as an encouragement of sorts for me to get some more projects, if not completed, at least get through a good chunk of them. So there are 3 that I'm going to be focusing on in this vlog specifically, and the first one, I think I talked about it in a vlog I did recently, I think. Just double checking. But the first one I will be doing, or one of the ones I will be doing, is a blanket for a little boy I used to babysit. And for that, I'm using not pound cake. I'm using Caron cakes in blueberry cheesecake, and I'm doing a 5mm hook, a 5mm hook with this. I'm also double checking if I uploaded one vlog to here. I feel like I did. Yes, so it was my Get Stuff Done With Me vlog that I posted back in May. So I didn't show myself working on this blanket in that vlog just because I was a little bit short on time, but at least it was in May on the SE Crochet Studio YouTube account or YouTube channel. This is also going up on the other channel, the Shana Lee Show. And as of right now, I'm not sure when this vlog is going up on the Shana Lee Show, but the Get Stuff Done With Me vlog is up before this one on both channels. And the other one that I'm working on, let me show you real quick. It's not crochet, but it's a finger knit blanket that I'm doing for my sister for Easter. I want to try to get this done soon. And then the other project I'm working on is granny squares for a cardigan that I'm working on. And this cardigan is inspired by the Pretty in Pate oversized scrappy cardi. It's not exactly the same, it's inspired by that cardigan. So I'm also working on this. Right now, at least, I'm going to start off by working on these granny squares. Ooh, dang, did I drop? Okay. I'm going to work on some more granny squares for this blanket. I need about 49 in total. I might need a little bit more than that, but we'll see if I do. But the starting point is 49. I might add an extra however many if I feel like it needs to be a little bit bigger, but I am going to start off with these ones for this video and try to see how many I can get done. Okay, so this is the big project of this video, and is March 31st currently, so which means I have like 20 days to finish this. Now, it's not going to be like a huge deal if I don't get this done by Easter, but it was kind of my intent to have it done for Easter. I have this one, and then I have one other, I think, one other to do, to add on, and hopefully that's a good enough length. I kept putting it off because I was like, oh, I might need one more, or I might need another skein or two. But at this point, it will just have to be what it is, because I might be able to get another skein from the Yarn Inspirations for Not Blanket Yarn website, but I might be able to get one and have it arrive in time for me to quickly finish it up before Easter. But at the same time, it's like, I'd rather try to see what I can get from what I have, and then just go from there. And just kind of, at least, hiding my feet as much as possible. This seems to be an okay length so far, so I think with this, and then the last one that I have, it will be okay. It'll be okay without me needing more. And I didn't just toss. Like it was a fuzz. And the thing is too, is when I first started doing this, I had measured it out on a rocking chair, and I think I've said this, but this is going to be an Easter present for my sister, and at this point she knows about it because it's getting to a point where it's too hard to hide this thing. And when I had started doing it, I had initially measured it out on the rocking chair that I usually sit on. My sister cuddles the bunny on it, one of our bunnies, on the rocking chair at night before she goes to bed. My sister goes to bed. And I had measured this blanket with the intent that my sister would ease it on that. However, my sister's going to be getting a new bed soon, or she's planning to get a new bed, and this would actually go really well with the set of sheets that she got for that bed. So, yeah, that's the plan. And at this point too, with how things are going, I might just give it to her. If I get it done before Easter, I might just give it to her before Easter. I'll have to see, but like at this point, like again, like I said, she knows about it, and not that like I can't hide it, but at the same time, it's like it is getting a little bit awkward to hide, first off, and second off, with the available space in my room. Like I have one wall right here, that wall, and then the wall over there where my desk is. And it's not a big room, so it's like with the available space I do have in my room, it's like it wouldn't be the most feasible thing to try to hide this blanket. So that's the plan. At this point, I'm just gonna give it to her when it's done. So, not too worried about that, and we'll just kind of go with the flow here. And I know I have like 2 other projects that I'm working on, excuse me, in this video. I have the granny square blanket that I'm working on, and then the granny square cardigan. Though I'm working on the granny square blanket because that's been going on for not super long. It's been going on for a little bit longer than this blanket, but again, not super long. But a large part of it is the little boy that I'm making it for. He is getting really excited about it because I, like, the couple times I've seen him between starting to make that blanket and now, I've shown him a little bit. I've shown him a couple squares here and there. So he's getting excited about his blankets because both of his sisters have gotten blankets now. and he was actually the first one I had started babysitting for them, so I really want to make him a blanket, and I want to get it finished for him. Ooh, that's too big. So that's just like the plan for this video. Again, like I said earlier, I may not get it all done in this video, but the plan is just to kind of encourage myself to do some more stuff and to kind of get back on the I need to finish these works in progress. And something else I've kind of noticed too is that over on my main channel, well, both of these are kind of my main channel. I feel bad calling the other one my main channel. But over on the Shanna Lee show, I've done quite a few reading vlogs. And there's a part of me that feels like I enjoy like hobby, well, reading is a hobby. There's a part of me that like seems to enjoy these crochet vlogs a little bit more than reading vlogs, because I feel like when you're actively making something with your hands, it's a little bit easier to record yourself. Maybe it's just me getting a little bit self-conscious about like reading on camera, but like I just find it a little bit easier to crochet on camera, and I started knitting too, so like knit on camera than to read on camera, because it's like, at least with this, I'm not that I'm not actively doing something, but like my hands are actively doing something, and I have a little bit more of a central focus with crocheting or knitting on camera, and it's more in the zone, and my brain gets diverted. Where when I'm reading on camera, or like I'm recording myself reading, I'm automatically just like looking back to the camera, like, oh, like what's that now, like, oh, like that's where my brain goes to, at least for me. I do really like doing reading vlogs, and when I do them, I don't do a lot of reading on camera because of that, so I just update with progress updates. So I have been meaning to do a reading vlog, because part of it too is that while I've been crocheting a lot and starting to teach myself to knit, I've kind of been slacking a little bit on my reading. Like, I've still been reading a little bit here and there, but I'm not reading as much as I used to, because a lot of my focus has been on crocheting and finger knitting and teaching myself to knit. So it's just, I'm thinking I might do something similar with a reading vlog that I did here, where it's like doing a reading vlog to get back on track with my reading, and to maybe find a good balance between reading and crocheting and knitting. So if that's something that you'd like to see here too, let me know in the comments. It will definitely go on the Shanna Lee show channel at some point, but if you'd like to see that here too, just let me know in the comments. Okay, so I am going to end this video with a little bit of a yarn haul, a Joann's haul, just because a lot of the projects that I was working on in this video are... felt like I was out of breath for some reason. Anyway, so most of the projects that I started within this video, or was continuing within this video, I'm drinking some water, are basically almost done, and I don't want to like keep dragging out this video just for the sake of it, just for the sake of finishing a project within this video. Like, that wasn't the purpose of this video. It would have been nice, but it wasn't the purpose. So like I said, to end this on a little bit of a yarn haul, I got more of this yarn, which I've been using for the cardigan, and I've already started using it to finish up the granny squares for the sleeve of the cardigan. And I did get some other yarn for some other projects. What else did I get in here? There's something else in here that I got. There it is. There it not is. There it is. It's all the way at the bottom. I got more of these point protectors. I already have the Highland cow and the sheep, and they did have other options. These ones were just my favorite, so I just figured to get another set of them. And then I was looking at needles, but I kind of want, even though I already have knitting needles, I want a full set of one type of needle, if that makes sense. And then that way, like, and plus two, the needles that I do have are from my grandmother's, and I kind of just want to use those for more special projects or personal projects. And plus two, having like a full set of needles as like reference, like a full set of needles in one type of brand or company, like I said, is like reference and just for like everyday stuff. But I didn't do that this time around, just because with the needles that they had out, at least at the time that I went, they didn't have like smallest to biggest, or at least smallest to like a bigger size, like in all one brand. So I'm holding off. I'm gonna look at my options for where else I can get them. Anyway, as for yarn, I got, let's start off with this one. I got a crochet thread, crochet. I don't know, it sounded weird when I first said it. I got Aunt Lydia's crochet thread, classic 10. What color is this in? It's a pink color, soft mauve. And I got this for when like I do amigurumi, like a bunny's, like a bunny, or like any other amigurumi animals with like pink noses. It had this. I do have another one that's like white and pink, but I'm like, I want a solid pink color. And then I have this big twist value yarn in, what color is this? Pale yellow. So I have pale yellow, and this was all the yarn that I got, like this stuff, and then the other brand that I got was Big Twist. I got this one, which is Varsity Yellow, and then I got two of this color, which is Aqua, and then I got one more, this one. What color is this one? Sky Blue. And I do have projects for all of these, so that was the main reason why I got them. Because I think I've talked about this before, but when I'm buying yarn, I'm really trying to be deliberate with my purchases. I'm really trying to be deliberate with how much I'm buying, if I'm going to use it within a certain time frame. It can vary depending on the project. Also, if I have a specific project in mind for that yarn, like with the yarn that I just showed, the 2 shades of blue, I'm planning on making a manta ray for my mother. For the yellow, I'm planning on making an anchor octopus for one of my friends. This one, I'm using it currently in a granny square cardigan, and I needed more. Oops, what is that? So I'm really trying to be very deliberate with my yarn purchases. And I was watching a video recently about like things that book influencers have like brainwashed into thinking is normal, brainwashed readers into thinking it's normal when it's not normal. And I feel like a lot of crochet and knitting and just fiber arts, yarn crafters, influencers, like a lot of them kind of fall into the same thing where it's like, in some circumstances it makes sense, because if you think of people, like people of companies, people who have like shops that are centered around making patterns, making the actual amigurumi or blankets or whatever it is, if they have like a shop centered around that or a company centered around that, then yeah, something like a full-on yarn wall, excuse me, makes sense. I have that thing for yarn, but having something like a giant yarn wall is not that it's bad, but it's not normal, especially when you're just doing crochet and knitting as a hobby. And I do have an Etsy store, and I am trying to build it up for myself so that I can have some sort of passive income at the very least coming in from it. But it's, even then, it's still not like a normal thing to have like a full-blown yarn wall, you know? And really buying into the capitalistic spending mentality of like, you have to be buying a lot of yarn, like you can't use the yarn that you already have. Like, I have a lot of yarn from my grandmother's, and I've been trying to go through it to see which yarn that I want to use, which ones I don't, what I can give away, what I can practice with. Like, I've been trying to go through it to figure out what I can use where, what I won't use where, and so on. So I think it's something to think about. And plus too, with Joann's closing, I honestly think that we really have to consider looking at local yarn shops, independent yarn shops. And if that's not an option, Michael's is always an option. Michael's tends to have a pretty decent selection, at least where I'm in. I have at least one that's pretty close by, two that's a little bit further away, but still relatively speaking close by. And then like I can pretty easily get to like 3 Michaels within like maybe a 20-mile radius, which is quite a few. But it's like, if you can support local indie yarn shops, independent yarn shops, if you can't go to something like Michael's, I personally recommend trying to avoid Hobby Lobby because of some of their policies and how they handled COVID and just all the controversy surrounding them. I personally recommend staying away from Hobby Lobby, but it is very much a situation where if you can't not use Hobby Lobby, then like that's a situation where it's like, it's understandable. Like if that's the only craft store, there aren't any other local independent craft stores, there's no Michael's, you know, like then I understand. But really try hard, because you can, like, especially if you're like knitting or crocheting, you can go to the Yarn Inspirations website, you can go to the Bernat Yarn website. Like, it might take a little bit longer depending on where you are, but I feel like there are options. But if you need a physical one and the only option you have is Hobby Lobby, then I feel like it's okay. But really trying not to, you know. Anyway, with all of that said, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video.